You okay. So my poem is like super simple. It's The Dream Keeper by Langston Hughes. So I'm just gonna get started with it. Bring me all of your dreams. Um, yeah, bring me all of your dreams, you dreamers. Bring me all of your heart melodies, that I may wrap them up in a blue cloth, away from the two rough fingers of the world. This is the second part. Dreams by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for dreams die. Life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen in the snow. And that's mine. So yeah.
Okay, it looks like we have, oh, you're already on your way up, okay.
The name of the poem is Daystar. She wanted a little room for thinking, but she forgot her standing on the line, a dull smell behind the door. So she locked a chair behind the garage to see out the children's naps. Sometimes there were things to watch, the pinch armor of the vanished cricket, a floating maple leaf. Other days she stared until she was assured when she closed her eyes, she'd see only her own vivid light. She had an hour, at best, before Lisa appeared, shouting from the top of the stairs. And just what was Mother doing out back with the field mice? Why? Building a palace. Later that night, when Thomas rolled over and emerged into her, she would open her eyes and think of the place that was hers for an hour, where she was nothing, pure nothing, in the middle of the day.
And Antoine next. Oh, man.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My first reading is from a Haitian poet called Emmanuel Egel. The title is Wongo. Gen de lèm rete, m'gade ou Aïda, l'horloge mwen vire. Tèt ou glidak se vre, men la nuit ou, gen lè dormi nan cheve ou. Aïda ou, soleil galonen, nan tout plein la caille. Si moun yo manje kangou, vent déboutonné. Pendant la nuit, tombé sous feuille la vie, la ligne n'a tourné vivable. Mais moi, c'est à ouest complet. Aïda o, qui les jours ça va arriver. Zombie, sigue l'allée, étoiles filées tombées. Oiseaux levés chanter, n'enveillés qu'à Aïda. Éclairs filés passés, armes râlées tirées. Ancêtres levés campés, des blosailles pétées qu'à Aïda. Yon étoiles filées tombées, fan fontaine traitement. Pack en pack. Yon l'oreille bondée tombée, dans mi-temps entrailles moins. Si tu fais bouler calé dans quel tout rouge, ou mettre coupé, raché, ou mettre bouler, fait charbon à moins. Oiseaux participants fait niche dans la cime moins. L'espoir, pas bouquet, fleuri dans quel. Moi c'est samba, la cime moins pas gain tout goût. L'ayant flair disait blessé, à 10 étapes, li mourit tétanos. Pas gain rien dans ça. L'ayant flèche ou black, c'est sans col, ben école. Wanganes lele, ça va dire rien. Mais l'ayant pied flamboyant, fait hémorragie, tous oiseaux volent gaguettes. Dans exiltique, y a chanté. L'autre bord de l'eau, y a crié, la peine ça qu'a arrêté derrière. Vent, côté nouvelle. Nouvelle gaillée, oreilles Aïda connaît, il pas attendait rien. Chaque goutte de la nuit qui coulait, c'est un tasse café en mer dans quel. Dans genou, la osé couler. Déteint couche-coude dans ma choix devant jour, mal fini garde un jour. Béquet soleil dans granger. Lumière bité 3 fois. Avant l'été trépassé, grand journée. Toutes 4 libertés, nous en bas code. Rêve nous désirer notre timamite. Silence nous fêlait. Patience nous cantonner sous nous, mais ou même qui mesurait nos dettes, qui connaît, qui l'énergie pour nous, dans 4 points nord, qui pesait la main dans balance nous. L'oreille était 3 fois dans pas de les vents cassent code, qui moun qui a coupé j'arrête les. Les lamelles sous que j'y pole, qui moun qui a vivre sans lisaille. Les l'oreille va battre calendar, qui moun qui va lever danser. Thank you very much. There's a second poem. Second, please. This is from Maurice Leroy. Felix Maurice Leroy was an Asian writer who used Asian Creole to write poetry and plays. The first significant writer to do so. By 1961, he succeeded in having Creole recognized as an official language of Haiti. After expanding its teaching in schools and using creative literature. This is a poem. It is called Testament. Les mourir, enterrez-moi dans la cour. Rassembler toutes amis, fait belle fête. Les mourir, c'est pour tout le monde bien gai. Rire, chanter, danser, bail blague. Pinga crier. Le pinga crier relé dans les oreilles. Les mourir, moi pas fin à net. Tout côté qui gagne un bel bamboche, côté nègre libre, for yo, son non moins. Thank you very much.
Say, Warren, Rahima, you guys did a nice job with this.
Thank
So
you,
thank you for doing this, okay?
thank you.
I'm just gonna wrap things up with my group of people. I have 2 short poems. The first one is called Words Like Freedom. They are words like freedom. They are words like freedom. Sweet and wonderful to say.
I'm not sure the microphone is quite working. It's not quite picking you up.
Can you hear? Oh, okay.
Yeah, now I think it's getting you now.
Okay, let me start all over here, right? No. Okay, so the title of my poem is called Words Like They are words like freedom, sweet and wonderful to say. On my heartstrings, freedom sings. All day, every day. They are words like liberty that almost make me cry. If you had known what I know, you would know why. The second one is called Dreamer. I take my dreams and make of them a bronze base and a wide round foundation with a beautiful statue in its corner, in its center, and a song with a broken heart. And if you ask you, do you understand my dreams? Sometimes you say you do, and sometimes you say you don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. I continue to dream. And that's the end. Thank you.
So yes, we're very ahead of schedule, it looks like. So we have some time to fill. I might end up reading some. What was that, Russell?
You want to read Elliot?
Yeah, I only,
And he asked if you read Elliot, we gonna allow for, okay, David to take the photo. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh. No, no, we don't have. No, wait. Okay. Maybe can you put it later, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that was David. Now.
okay, so, yeah. Yeah, so if you'll just give me a moment, I actually have to write that.
Oh, okay, so let me call David.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi there. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was David there. So you're next. Would you like to start reading now?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, is this working? I think I have a big voice. Mine is a little different. People have been reading poetry, but I'm going to be reading the letters of Langston Hughes. And the letters do not have quite the same rhythm and music. It's going to be a little different. And what I was particularly interested in, I've been a teacher most of my life. And I was very interested in the fact that Langston Hughes was a great teacher. You know, he was a teacher to people all over the world. And for example, in a letter that he wrote in 1958, and I'm quoting the letter from Langston Hughes, he said, I have been touring the United States, counting hundreds of other engagements covering practically all the major American colleges and a great many high schools, grammar schools, and even kindergarten school, reform school, penitentiaries, and hospitals. So here was a teacher reading his poems not only to universities, to high schools, to kindergartens, to penitentiaries, to hospitals. What a broad range of students he had. And we all know that Langston Hughes toured the world or traveled the world and visited the world, not only to Europe and to Africa, but also to China and Latin America and Cuba and Japan. And this is what he wrote, a letter describing some of his interactions in Japan. This is a letter from 1933. I met with Japan's only modern theater, doing O'Neill plays, Soviet plays, and modernistic Japanese pieces in a most exciting manner. So here he is talking to Japanese artists, actors, doing Soviet plays, O'Neill plays, and their own plays. Okay. I would like to read a couple of letters of Langston Hughes, or parts of the letter. The first is a letter to the great American poet you probably not have heard of. He was a so-called communist in his work with the press. This is a letter that Langston Hughes wrote to Raymond Durham in 1954. Here is the letter. And Mr. Durham had sent Langston Hughes some poems. And this is the letter of Langston Hughes. I can hardly believe my eyes, getting some good poetry in the mail. I receive at least 100 or so envelopes of poetry a year from folks I don't know. And most of it is bad, illiterate, or dull. Some is occasionally good or fairly good in spots. Once in a great while, there are some poems mixed in with several mediocre ones. And once in a blue moon, a book slot turns up. I don't believe I've gotten so interesting a collection of poems out of the blue as yours, as Gwendolyn Brooks sent me her early work 10 or 12 years ago. Usually I glance at the first page or two of writing, it comes in the mail and put it away in a drawer with all the other unread manuscripts to wait a time when I can struggle with it. But yours, I read all of your poems. As soon as I opened the envelope, and most of the poems I very much like, particularly those humorously satirical ones like Some of My Best Friends. Oh, I wish I'd known these poems years ago. You know, can you imagine, here's an unpublished poet, and here's a great poet writing such a letter to him. So that was the letter of 1954 to the aspiring poet, Ray Durham. Here's a letter to an unknown, unpublished 15-year-old Nigerian boy. And this boy in Nigeria asked Langston Hughes to adopt him as his father. And he also sent some of his writing to Langston Hughes. And this is the letter that Langston Hughes wrote back to Cuba, the Nigerian 15-year-old. And Langston Hughes wrote, "My dear son," you know, he hadn't even met the person, but he calls him his son. "Since you've adopted me and thus become my one and only son, and I'm very happy to have you, you will have to send me a photograph. Just a Kodak snapshot will do. It won't need to be an expensive one, so that I can see how you look. Certainly, I'm very proud and flattered to be taken as a father by an ambitious boy like yourself. Already working on a novel and only 15 years old. Are your father and mother living? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Are you continuing in school? Are you working? What do you intend to do in life? Of course, I will read your novel for you, but I cannot guarantee to rewrite it or to do anything about publication, as that is very, very difficult. But I will be happy to see it and give you my comments in the hope that they might be helpful to you. This is an unknown 15-year-old boy writing to a great poet, and he gets a letter like that. What a nice person. What a great teacher." Then the last letter I'd like to read is to Julian Bond. And we all know Julian Bond is a great civil rights leader, as an organizer, as an activist. Did we know that he was also an aspiring poet? And Julian Bond sent some of his poems to Langston Hughes. And this is the letter he wrote to Julian. "Dear Julian, Please send me your poems, man. I like the three I saw very much. So would like to have copies of these, plus a dozen or so more if you have them, from which I will make a tentative selection for the anthology of new poems. So, you know, inspiring Julian Pope, a great civil rights leader, aspiring poet who was branded a communist, aspiring a 15-year-old Nigerian writer. What a great teacher. I would also like at the end to show how Langston Hughes was a teacher to the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I have some correspondence I found between Langston Hughes and Dr. King. Okay, Dr. King had asked Langston Hughes to write a poem for some events in 1959. And this was particularly a poem to honor Philip Randolph on his birthday, one of the civil rights leaders. And this is what Dr. King wrote back to Langston Hughes. And it's quite a long letter, I'll just read part of it.
We're early, so take your time.
But the most important part of this letter, you have added another weapon of the pen to our struggle. I think this is a very interesting way to say it. You have added another weapon of the pen to our struggle. A pen can be a weapon. We are sincerely sorry you cannot read it, but it will be delivered by Ozzie Davis, who, as you undoubtedly know, is currently starring in A Raisin in the Sun. We wish you the warmest wishes and the greatest thanks for giving us the new weapon, the pen. That was a letter from Dr. Martin Luther King, written to Langston Hughes in December 1959. Next, I would like to read part of the speech that Dr. Martin Luther King gave at Spelman College in Atlanta. And as you probably know, Spelman College is a historically Black women's college in Atlanta. And this is a speech given in 1960. It is a long speech that went on for about an hour. I obviously can't read all of it, but just a couple paragraphs. I do not give this element of faith and superficial optimism. I do not stand here as a detached spectator. As I say to you this afternoon, have faith in the future. I speak as one who lives every day amidst the threat of death. I speak as one who has spent often amidst the surging murmur of life's restless sea. I speak as one who has been battered often by the jostling winds of adversary. But I have faith in the future. I have faith in the future because I believe in God and believe that there is a power, a creative force in this universe, seeking at all times to bring down hilltops of evil. To bring, and I like this expression, to bring down hilltops of evil and pull low gigantic mountains of injustice. I love this word. I mean, Martin Luther King was a poet too. Bring down the mountains of evil and pull low the gigantic mountains of injustice. If we will believe this and struggle along, we will be able to achieve it. Keep moving, for it may well be that the greatest song has yet to be sung. You know, Martin Luther King. Keep moving. The greatest song has yet to be sung. The greatest book has not been written. The highest mountain has not been climbed. This is your challenge. Reach out and grab and make it part of your life. Reach up beyond the cloud-filled skies of oppression and bring out the blazing stars of inspiration. The basic thing is to keep moving. Move out of the mountains that impede our progress to this new and noble, marvelous land. And then he quotes Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes says something very beautiful in Mother to Son. Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It had tacks in it, splinters, boards torn up, places with no carpets on the floor, bare, with splinters. All the time, I've been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners, sometimes going in the dark, where there's been no light. Oh boy, don't you stop now. Don't you sit down. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find this kind of hard. For I am still going on. I am still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Martin Luther King is quoting this poem to the students at Spelman. And then Martin Luther King had his own version of this poem that he said to the students. Let me see. We must keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving. So that's my spiel. And we should remember that Langston Hughes, a great teacher to all sorts of people, and he inspired the great Martin Luther King. Thank you.
We're going to have Amarillo. Okay.
Hi, my name is Amarillo Lopez. I work at the circulation department, and thank you for him and also to let me be part of the program. I'm gonna be reading some poem on Spanish. Okay, the first one is Cabina Telefónica, número 905.5, por Pedro Pietri. Desperté esta mañana sintiéndome excelente. Cogió el teléfono, marcó el número de mi empleador, que ofrece igualdad de oportunidades, para informarle que no lo haré. ¿Estar en el trabajo hoy? ¿Te sientes enfermo? El jefe me preguntó. No, señor, respondí. Me siento demasiado bien para presentarme al trabajador. Si me siento mal mañana, llegaré temprano. El segundo poema es No estoy solo. La noche queda desierta, desde las montañas hasta el mar. Pero yo, es que te mece, no estoy solo. El cielo está desierto, porque la luna cae al mar. Pero yo, que te sostiene, no estoy solo. El mundo está desierto, toda carne está triste, ¿ves? Pero yo, el que te abrazo, yo estoy solo. The next one is Está de pie, por Sandra María Esteves. Nina Simón, Celia Cruz, Billie Holiday y Lizzie. Todas eran hermanas creciendo, haciéndole compañía durante la tristeza del hijo único. Tardes pasadas riendo, llorando, bailando, un tambor, armonizando dulces melodías para adolescentes. Aretha Franklin, La Lupe, Diana y La Supreme. Me quedé despierto por las noches en un hotel angustiado, rapeando muy cerca de la luz de luna dúa, drifting pacientemente sus líneas hasta que aprendieron todas las palabras. Llevándolo más alto, tocando todas las notas en casa. Ronnie, Speedy, Gladys Knight también estuvieron juntos. La primera vez que escuchó a Robert Black, sabía que eran frutos del mismo árbol de sentimientos. Cómo la amaban con locura, sin siquiera intentarlo. No tenía por qué ser nadie, no necesitaba demostrarlo. Nunca se cansaba ni se quejaba del volumen o incluso le importaba quién estaba escuchando. Siempre a su lado, pase lo que pase, apretado durante días, poniéndolo en marcha, bajando. Sí está hasta el final. Okay, the next one will be Borinquen. This one is very close to my heart because it's where I came from Puerto Rico. We call it Borinquen. Borinquen. Piensen de mí lo que pensar de Blas, aquel que, de altrusta blasonando, dice que tiene por su patria el mundo y son todos los hombres sus hermanos. Piense de mí lo que pensar de Blas, mientras yo declaro que entre todas las tierras conocidas es Borinquen, la tierra aquí del otro. Esta es nuestra esmeralda que engarzó Dios en medio del océano. I Bring a Word by Langston Hughes en español. Sueña con un mundo donde nadie desprecie a nadie, donde el amor bendiga la tierra y la paz adorne sus caminos. Sueño con un mundo donde todos conozcan la dulzura de la libertad, donde la codicia no debilite el alma, ni la avaricia empañe nuestro día. Sueño con un mundo donde los negros o blancos, sin importar la raza que sea, compartan la abundancia de la tierra, donde todas las personas sean libres, donde la miseria baje la cabeza y la alegría como una perla. Atiende las necesidades de toda la humanidad. Así es como sueño mi mundo. Very nice for like her. Okay, el próximo es autobiografía de una nuyorica por Sandra María Esteves, paralela. Medio azul con los pies primero, ella luchó en el mundo, apenas sobreviviendo el cordón sanguíneo 2 veces enrollado. Tensó alrededor de su cuello colgante, el útero presionado, empujando, quitándole la vida al hijo de la madre. Carne frágil, emergiendo perfecta en el azul. Como el salvavidas que la sostuvo, pero inerte casi un cadáver. Su madre afirma que la Virgen intercedió, invocando mediante la promesa divina en la oración. Eso hizo que sus ojos oscuros se abrieran, su lengua para saborear el aire como fuego, mientras el azul se desvanecía. rastreando la muerte en la cola del eclipse. Y como en nacer su oscuridad, el sol generó, avanzaba poco a poco hacia la visibilidad, revelando todo color y forma, un gran maestro generoso y genial, silencioso y reverente, ruidoso y blasfemo constante, esculpiendo por de decepción en la sombra y la luz de múltiples universos. Medio azul, con los pies primeros, ella luchó a su manera. El mundo no quería otro moreno, otro niño negro indio de ojos rasgados. No quería otra canción potenciada por el arcoíris, agregado al repertorio en azul, o indio, o cristal caribeño. No quería otra boca que alimentar, especialmente otro poeta agitador. Otra voz se abrió de par en par, fijado en su espectro global del desafío. El significado de la guerra la definía, adiante e inocente, antes de conocer a su madre, antes de descubrirse a sí misma, apenas viva, juntando armas en su ser con cada aliento que la llenaba cada vez más fuerte, para vencedor todas las posibilidades y probabilidades. Thank you.
Thank you. Watch the photo. Okay, so, what do we have up next? Karima, are you here yet? Is Karima here yet? Oh, hi. So, we're running a bit ahead of schedule. I think we initially had you on for 3 o'clock, right? Oh, 3:30, but, if you'd like to go now. Oh, oh, right, there was someone else,
Yeah, I thought that,
okay, that works, whatever people want to do. I'm willing to.
Yeah, who was?
I thought, well, the next person on the schedule,
They would come down, yeah, okay, yeah. But this is not. This guy is gonna really. Yeah.
Okay.
He feels that person.
oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, let's have it. What? No, I think she is, but, I guess he had said he wanted to do something. I had forgotten about that. I'm trying to manage some different things, so. Yeah.
Okay.
Whichever works, if she wants to go, okay, that's what I would do. I think we have her on.
Karina wanted to say that. I brought that one thing up there. I don't know.
She needed a table that would fit. Okay, where do you?
Some good ones.
The last one.
Um, we're now going to have a dramatization of Langston Hughes' poem, The Negro Washerwoman, by Karima Lewis. I won't tell them that you got her doctorate degree from Berkeley, but that she, like Langston Hughes, believes in the people. Karima Lewis. Right, you know, okay, sit down, so that works for you? Yeah, this will work. You don't need a microphone.
Okay, if you'll just give me a moment to kind of readjust the camera so that it's looking more at you. It'll be behind you. Let's see if there's a way I can get it more in front of you. Okay. Yeah, right now it's going to be looking behind you, so I thought I might want to figure out a way to get it more in front of you. See if it close long enough to kind of, maybe if I have it kind of looking, yeah.
It's almost the same angle.
Okay, I don't know if the cord for the computer is long enough. That's the issue. We have it all sort of plugged into this.
Okay, well, you're trying to. Yeah.
Is there a way you can kind of, okay, is there a way you can kind of turn this way into, put the camera into?
He doesn't care about this.
Oh, okay.
Karima Lewis.
Song to a Negro Watchwoman by Langston Hughes. Oh, watchwoman, arms, elbow deep in white serge, so. A song to a Negro Watchwoman by Langston Hughes. Oh, watchwoman, arms, elbow deep in white suds, soul washed clean, clothes washed clean. There are many songs I can sing you. Could I just find the word? Was it 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a late afternoon that I saw you coming from washing the last shirt at Miss White Lady's kitchen? Was it 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock? Can't remember. But I know I saw you at 7 one morning on Vermont Street with a bundle of clothes going to wash clothes. And I know I saw you on the New York subway one late afternoon coming from washing clothes. Yes, I know you, washwoman. I know how you send your children to school, high school, and even college. I know how you help your man when times are hard. I know how you work and build your house up from Wall Street. I know how you work and help your man when times are hard. I know how you build your house up from the wash tub and call it home. And how you raise your churches from white suds to the glory of the Almighty God. And I've seen you singing, watchwoman, out in the backyard garden, under the apple tree, singing, hanging clothes on the long line in the sunshine. And I've seen you in church singing on Sunday morning, praising the Almighty, because someday you're going to sit on the right hand of God, and no longer will you be a washwoman. And the aching back and the bundle of clothes will not be remembered then. And I've seen you singing. And for you, singing, little brown woman, singing, wrong black woman, singing, tall yellow woman. So clean, so clean. For you, I have many songs to make. Cry, but find the words.
That was great. And as she was portraying that, I remember that my grandmother, when I was a little girl, I went to visit her in Atlanta. I was born in Brooklyn, grew up in Boston, but I went to visit her in Atlanta, Georgia, and she was a washerwoman. She was. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Looks like, Jeffrey is who we have scheduled, but I think you're. Oh, do we have someone else? Oh, were you going to read something? Okay, yes. I'll let you introduce yourself. Oh, you need. Oh, okay, so we'll just wait a few minutes for him to get what he needs. Oh, yeah. Figure out how to get this. Oh.
Oh, my God, Beatrice. Beatrice, and she's going to do a poem that she wrote. She's one of our patrons who came in. Oh, are you here? Is that? No. Here you go. She said it's only. Hello, my name is Beatrice. I wrote this poem maybe 20 years ago, but I really never shared it with anybody. And you all inspired me, so I'll share it now. Black man, am I too small for you to see?
Well, the camera is not focused on you right now, so if you'll give me a second to just readjust the camera. Oh, no, I don't want to look at myself. Sorry, doing it in the wrong direction, I think. Sometimes it's a little hard to, So it's a little hard to tell which direction it's actually going. So I think I have to just do that. There we go. Now I've got it. There we go. Yep, now we're good.
Black man, am I too small for you
Oh.
to see?
No, you're,
I
you're
didn't
good,
say
Your Honor. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's more just that you don't have the microphone.
Black man, am I too small for you to see? Do I need wings to raise me high? So I can be seen in the depth of your eyes? Am I just a ghost who haunts your thoughts day and night? Until I'm finally old and gone. No, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Giovanni.
Gianni.
He works in- Oh, yeah, he's gonna say his name.
Hi, my name is Gianni. I work here. I work in the third floor. When I go to school, I'm a junior, in college and.
Hold on, I don't think the microphone. Yeah, I think that's good.
Better?
Yeah.
Should I restart? Let me restart. Hello, my name is Gianni. I work at the third floor reference department here in the library. I'm a student. I go to Bridgewater State University. I'm a junior, and I'm just here to read some poems. So this poem is called Rhythm of Africa by Edward Kofi Lewis. Dance, dance with the muse of Africa. Tap, tap with the rhythm of Africa. Moving your body and moving your steps to the sounds and cultures of the various tribes in Africa. Dance, dance to the rhythm of Africa. Tap, tap with the movements of the muse of Africa. To a continent of nature's muse. To a continent of multi-languages. To a continent of full colors. From north to south, east and west, come to Africa and see things for yourself. Rhythm of Africa, rhythms of various cultures and customs, rhythm of various countries in Africa, rhythm of the animals. With the beauty and nature as seen around, dance, dance. Dance with the steps and shake your body to the rhythm of Africa, touching your heart and soul. Tap, tap with the movements of Africa, rhythm of Africa, with the muse of various races in Africa, expressing their cultures and customs to the muse of the rhythm of Africa. This next poem is called The Genetics of Weaving by Shauna Barbosa. Inside, this vessel feels like the 1996 spelling bee when I forgot you in language. Vovo left Fogo to Praia. Now she has 2 sons named Jose. Islands apart, I already jellyfished every memory that's stuck inside. Salt water. Nostalgia stung, rinsed right up off me. Vovo left and came back, not recognizing my 13-year-old aunt, her new haircut, resembling the first Jose. I contracted. I expanded. I pushed temporary waters behind me. I already forgot. I got 2 versions of my climb. The one I swam and I only climbed this mountain to take a picture at the top. Bell-shaped bodies all forgotten. All this bad luck because I split a pole. If I could open my mouth, I'd ask my grandmother why. She took so long to return to her first set of fish. I'd ask if she's aware she has 2 sons named the same. She got 2 versions of herself. One in the land of free. Haircut, 2, me. As soon as you start to love a city, a thick-bodied flight attendant touches your shoulder, walking down the aisle. Thought that was affection. I took care of that part myself in a complicated way. There's only one temperature that's good enough for it. To bring back the you of this vessel that is no longer the you. I have another poem here. It's called I Grew Older by Langston Hughes. It was a long time ago, 1901, 1967. I have almost forgotten my dream, but it was there then, in front of me, bright like a sun, my dream. And then the wall rose slowly, slowly between me and my dream. Rose slowly, slowly, dimming, hiding. The light of my dream rose until it touched the sky, the wall, shadow. I am black. I lie down in the shadow, no longer the light of my dream before me, above me. Only the thick wall, only the shadow. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall, find my dream. Help me to shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun. Before I do my last one, I have a quote by Langston Hughes. It says, "But blow one blaring trumpet note of the sun to go with me to the darkness where I." And this is the gist. In one hand, I hold tragedy, and in the other, comedy. Mass for the soul. Laugh with me. You would laugh. Weep with me. You would weep. Tears are my laughter. Laughter is my pain. Cry at my grinning mouth, if you will. Laugh at my sorrow's rain. I am the black jester, the dumb clown of the world, the booted fool of silly men. Once I was wise, shall I be wiser?
Okay, so now we have, Alexis Besker, is, where are you? Oh, okay. So, if you'd like to come up and introduce yourself?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alexis. I graduated UMass Amherst, and today I'm going to be reading Daybreak in Alabama by Langston Hughes. When I get to be a colored composer, I'm going to write me some music about daybreak in Alabama. And I'm going to put the prettiest songs in it, rising out of the ground like a swamp mist and falling out of heaven like a soft dew. I'm going to put some tall, tall trees in it, and the scent of pine needles, and the smell of red clay after rain, and long red necks, and poppy colored faces, and big brown arms, and the field daisy eyes of black and white, black people. And I'm gonna put white hands, and black hands, and brown and yellow hands, and red clay earth hands in it, touching everybody with kind fingers, touching each other natural as dew, in that dawn of music when I get to be a color composer and write about daybreak in Alabama. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so do we have? This gentleman is coming forward. Oh, okay.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, I'm back. All right. I would like to introduce myself first because the last time I didn't have time to do it. My name is Antoine Philippe. I'm Asian. I've been there for several months, and I would like to thank the state of Massachusetts and city of Brockton for the hospitality with me. Thank you very much. As we all know, Haiti is sharing borders with Dominican Republic. Okay? And Asian people and Dominican people, we are brothers, but we have shared a lot of story, sad stories, also good stories. Okay. And the text I'm about to read is from Rita Dove, all right? And it relates a special time, a special period between Haitian and Dominican, where Haitian government was doing business with Asian people. They were selling people, Asian, to the Dominican Republic government, so they could work on the cane fields. All right, so this poem is all about it, because at this time there was a dictator ruling Dominican Republic. His name was Leonidas Trujillo. He was from Haiti originally, okay? But he was denying it. And he went so far with his denial, so that sometimes he used to use powder on his face so he could like look lighter skin. Okay. And this poem is all about it. Okay, shall we start now? All right. It is called Parsley. There is a parrot imitating spring in the palace, its feathers parsley green. Out of the swamp, the cane appears to hunt us, and we cut it down. El General searches for a word. He is all the world there is. Like a parrot imitating spring, we lie down, screaming as rain punches through, and we come up green. We cannot speak an R. Out of the swamp, the cane appears, and then the mountain we call in whispers Catalina. The children nod their teeth to our heads. There is a parrot imitating spring. El General has found his word, Perejil. Who says it lives. He laughs, teeth shining out of the swamp. The cane appears in our dreams, lashed by wind and streaming. And we lie down. For every drop of blood, there is a parrot imitating spring. Out of the swamp, the cane appears. The word the general's chosen is parsley. It is fall, when thoughts turn to love and death. The general thinks of his mother, how she died in the fall, and he planted a walking cane at the grave, and it flowered. Each spring stolidly forming 4-star blossoms. The general pulls on his boots. He stomps to her room in the palace, the one without curtains, the one with a parrot in a brass ring. As he paces, he wonders, who can I kill today? And for a moment, the little knot of screams is still. The parrot, who has traveled all the way from Australia in an ivory cage, is coy as a willow practicing spring. Ever since the morning, his mother collapsed in the kitchen while baking skull-shaped candies for the Day of the Dead. The general has hated sweets. He orders pastries brought up for the bird. They arrive dusted with sugar on a bed of lace. The knot in his throat starts to twitch. He sees his boots the first day in battle, splashed with mud and urine. As the soldier falls at his feet, amazed, how stupid he looked. At the sound of the artillery, I never thought it would sing, the soldier said, and died. Now, the general sees the fields of sugarcane lashed by rain and streaming. He sees his mother's smile, the teeth nod to our heads. He hears the Asians sing without oars, as they swing the great machetes. Catalina, they sing, Catalina, my motto, my amo, and multe. God knows his mother was no stupid woman. She could roll an oar like a queen. Even a parrot can roll an oar. In the bare room, the bright feathers arc in a parody of greenery as the last pale crumbs disappear under the blackened tongue. Someone calls out his name in a voice. So like his mother's, a startled tear splashes the tip of his right boot. My mother, my love in death. The general remembers the tiny green sprigs. The general remembers the tiny green sprigs men of his village wore in their caps to honor the birth of a son. He will order many this time to be killed for a single beautiful word. Thank you very much.
All right, so, did we, want to have Jeffrey come up, or did we want to, Russell, what do you think? Should we, since we're ahead of schedule? I can do that. I can read a couple of Eliot poems, and then maybe we can have Jeffrey come up. Let me just figure out some good ones.
Yeah. Okay. So since we were, yesterday we were reading some of the poets that, Langston Hughes admired or who influenced him, some of the, English poets. Although Eliot was American. I would be reading Prufrock, but I think we read that on Thursday. I could read it again, but maybe I'll do some different ones. So I thought maybe I'd just start with one of the parts from The Wasteland. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So I will read the first part, the burial of the dead. And I apologize, there are some parts of this in another language, and my pronunciation is probably not particularly good, but I'll do my best. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so here we go. The burial of the dead. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers. Summer surprised us, coming over the Starnberger Sea with a shower of rain. We stopped in the colonnade and went on in the sunlight into the Hofgarten and drank coffee and talked for an hour. Bin gar kein Russin, Stamm aus Litauen, ex Deutsch. And when we were children, staying at the Archduke's, my cousin's, he took me out on a sled, and I was frightened. He said, Marie, Marie, hold on tight, and down we went. In the mountains, there you feel free. I read much of the night, and go south in the winter. To skip a page. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony rubbish? Son of man, you cannot say or guess, for you know only a heap of broken images where the sun beats, and the dead tree gives no shelter, the cricket no relief, and the dry stone no sound of water. Only there is shadow under this red rock. Come in under the shadow of this red rock, and I will show you something different from either your shadow at morning striding behind you, or your shadow at evening rising to meet you. I will show you fear in a handful of dust. Frisch weckt der Wind, der Heimat zu, mein irisch Kind, wo weilest du, wo weilest du? You gave me hyacinths first a year ago. They called me the hyacinth girl. Yet when we came back late from the hyacinth garden, your arms full and your hair wet, I could not speak, and my eyes failed. I was neither living nor dead, and I knew nothing. Looking into the heart of light, the silence, und leer das Meer. Madame Sosostris, famous clairvoyant, had a bad cold. Nevertheless, is known to be the wisest woman in Europe, with a wicked pack of cards. Here, said she, is your card, the drowned Phoenician sailor. Those are pearls that were his eyes, look. Here is Belladonna, lady of the rocks, the lady of situations. Here is the man with 3 staves, and here the wheel, and here is the one-eyed merchant. And this card, which is blank, is something he carries on his back, which I am forbidden to see. I do not find the hanged man. Fear death by water. I see crowds of people walking round in a ring. Thank you. If you see dear Miss Equitone, tell her I bring the horoscope myself. One must be so careful these days. Unreal city, under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many, I had not thought death had undone so many. Sighs, short and infrequent, were exhaled, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet, flowed up the hill and down King William Street, to where St. Mary Woolnoth kept the hours with a dead sound on the final stroke of 9. There I saw one I knew and stopped him, crying, Stetson, you who were with me in the ships at Mylay, that corpse you planted last year in your garden, has it begun to sprout? Will it bloom this year, or has the sudden frost disturbed its bed? Oh, keep the dog far hence, that's friend to man, or with his nails he'll dig it up again. You, hypocrite lector, mon semblable, mon frère. I could do one more, or should we,
One more, do one more.
okay.
Get to the magic.
Oh, if that's in here, let me see if I didn't see it when I was looking earlier. Let me see if that's here. I'm not sure if the Magi is in this particular collection. Oh, Russell's gone away. Yeah, okay, I might do another one that's actually in here. I apologize that Death of the Magi does not appear to be in this collection. We can do the Hollow Man. That's a good one. Okay, give me a moment to find it. Okay, here we go. We are so this is the Hollow Man. We are the Hollow Man. We are the stuffed men, leaning together, headpiece filled with straw. Alas, our dried voices, when we whisper together, are quiet and meaningless as wind in dry grass, or rat's feet over broken glass in our dry cellar. Shape without form, aid without color, paralyzed force, gesture without motion. Those who have crossed with direct eyes to death's other kingdom remember us, if at all, not as lost violent souls, but only as the hollow man, the stuffed man. Eyes I dare not meet in dreams, in death's dream kingdom. These do not appear. There the eyes are sunlight on a broken column. There is a tree swinging, and voices are in the wind singing, more distant and more solemn than a fading star. Let me be no nearer in death's dream kingdom. Let me also wear such deliberate disguises, rat's coat, crow skin, cropped staves, and a field behaving as the wind behaves, no nearer. Not that final meeting in the twilight kingdom. This is the dead land. This is the cactus land. Here the stone images are raised. Here they receive the supplication of a dead man's hand under the twinkle of a fading star. Is it like this in death's other kingdom, waking alone at the hour when we are trembling with tenderness, lips that would kiss, form prayers to broken stone? The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here in this valley of dying stars, in this hollow valley, this broken jaw of our lost kingdoms. In this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech, gathered on this beach of the tumid river, sightless, unless the eyes reappear as a perpetual star, multifoliate rose of death's twilight kingdom, the hope only of empty men. Here we go around the prickly pear, prickly pear, prickly pear. Here we go around the prickly pear at 5 o'clock in the morning. Between the idea and the reality, between the motion and the act, falls the shadow, for thine is the kingdom. Between the conception and the creation, between the emotion and the response, falls the shadow. Life is very long. Between the desire and the spasm, between the potency and the existence, between the essence and the descent, falls the shadow. For thine is the kingdom. For thine is, life is, for thine is this is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper. I think that's enough of it, and maybe we'll do,
No, there is two more, Karima would like to come back up and read two poems, and Dr. James Bruce is going to read. But I wanted to read, I just wanted to read before Dr. James Bruce comes up, and Karima, one of Langston's favorite poets of all time. This is a poem by, the Irish poet William Butler Yeats, and it's called The Second Coming. Turning and turning in the widening tide, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosened upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosened, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best, like all convictions, while the worst, they are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming, hardly are those words out, when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it red shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know the 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed the nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast is our come round at last, slouching towards Bethlehem to be born? William Butler Yeats, the second couple. Now we'll have Karima Lewis to read two poems, and then the doctor is going to come up and read us 3 poems.
Words like freedom. They are words like freedom, sweet and wonderful to say. On my heartstrings, freedom sings all day, every day. They are words like liberty that almost make me cry. If you've known what I know, you would know why. If you know this one, but it's kind of works with the first poem I read. I dream a world. I dream a world with I dream a world where no other man will scorn, where love will bless the earth, and peace is path adorned. I dream a world where all will know sweet freedom's way, where greed no longer saps the soul, nor avarice blight our day. A world of dream where black or white, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth, and every man is free. Where wretchedness will hang its head, and joy like a pearl attends the need of all mankind. Of such I dream my world. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're having, Dr. James, I'm not sure what, Dr. James Bruce.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm so happy to be here, and thanks to, grateful for the invitation. Ann Burgott from BCA. She's been a real icon here in Boston, involved in a lot of things. And she sent me a note, she said, you have to be there, you should be there. I am a Brockton resident almost 20 years. I have many artistry gifts. I'm a international singer, songwriter. I'm a published author, and by the end of this coming week, I will upload and publish my book number 56. Ooh, yeah, so I was really into writing. And so I was asked to read, and I flipped through this and I just randomly came upon a poem by Langston Hughes called Lullaby. And I read it and I said, wow, this sort of reminds me, it almost creating a balance. It's a lullaby, it's a poem that it's said for a Black mom, the mother, and it's to sort of usher the child to sleep. And it reminds me of a poetry book that I wrote in 1995 after the birth of my third child, Samaj. He was born on February 1st, 1995, so he just celebrated 29 years a couple days ago. And back then I was so happy as a father of the third child, second son, and writing poem, writing song. I was just like so really embraced with that love, that feeling. And I thought of the song, how can I transfer this emotion and feeling into a statement in rhythmic form, but yet applying to him, who's so precious. And I did, and wrote in his published book. It's to the tune of America the Beautiful. And I just find this post of it. Oh, beautiful, my precious child, your hazel eyes are gray, your purpose for humanity, how beautiful is your name. My baby child, my baby child, God bless your dad and me. He said you, I knew he could. He'll bless you, dad and me. That was like, but I was presenting it in the persona of or the spirit of my wife. I just said, even her, she got son, mine. And so it's kind of balance that and read this lullaby. It says, my little dark baby, a little earthly, my little loved one. For your lullaby. Stars, stars, a necklace of stars, winding the night. My little black baby, my dark body baby. What shall I sing for your lullaby? Moon, moon, great diamond moon, kissing the night. Oh, baby, baby. Stars, stars, moon, night stars, moon. For your sleep song, lullaby. Thank you. One more. Okay, thanks. And what I was inspired by the poem just this was shared. It's called Dreams. Pretty sort of idealistic and we can only hope for it and do our part as individuals, do our little piece to add to that idealism of a beautiful world and a collective world and stuff. So there's a singer, songwriter, I've written over 1,000 songs, and I have 5 CDs in the marketplace. So that reminds me of a song I entitled, I wrote back in 2015, it's recorded. It's available on the social media. It's called I Dream. I Dream. And when you hear the rhythm and melodies, you say, wow, that sounds like something Michael Jackson. He wrote those in the spirit, really about the world coming together, being one, people united. So the song goes like this. And you can listen to it and hear it in poetic form. I dream of a place where the entire human race will join hands and embrace people with differences that we share. From our hearts we will care, and we will love one another as sisters and brothers. We can create that place if we all show our face, and all evil is erased. And we will love one another as sisters and brothers. Let today be the start, have love in our hearts. We don't have much time, so let's make up our minds. Let today be the start, to have love in our hearts. We don't have much time, so let's make up our minds. I dream of a place where the entire human race will join hands and embrace people with different that we share. From our hearts we will care, and we will love one another as sisters and brothers. And we will love one another as sisters and brothers. And we will love one another. Sisters and brothers.
Okay, so it looks like next we have Leona or Leona. Is it Leona or Leona? Leona. Well, as long as you're close to the microphone. Okay. I can move the microphone if you need me to.
No, I think it's, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna read a few poems. The first one is entitled Sit Back, Relax. Lord, Lord, no rest for the wicked, most likely no heating pads. Heat some gravy for the potatoes, slice a little green pepper into the pinto bean. Sometimes the body just plain grieves. Stand by me in this, my hour. That's that. And the next one is entitled, The Situation is Intolerable. Intolerable, that civilized word. Aren't we civilized too? Shoes shine, each scotch cuff unyielding, each dove gray pleated trouser leg, a righteous sword advancing onto the field of battle in the name of the Lord. Hush now, say, the terrain. All around us dark and the perimeter in flames. But the stars, tiny missionary stars, on high, serene, studying the inky brow of heaven. So what if we were born up a creek and knocked flat with the paddle? If we ain't got a pot to piss in and nowhere to put it, if we did. Our situation is intolerable, but what's worse is to sit here and do nothing. Oh yes, oh mercy on our souls. And this last one is entitled Freedom Ride. As if after High Street in the left turn onto Exchange, the view would veer onto someplace fresh, Caraco, or a mesquite adrift on a milk-fed pond, but there's just more cloud cover and germy air condensing on the tinted glass and the little houses with their fearful patches of yard rushing into the flames. Pull the cord a stop too soon and you'll find yourself walking a gauntlet upstairs. Daydream and you'll wake up in the stale dark of a cinema. Dallas playing its mistake over and over until even that sad reel won't stay stuck. There's still Bobby and Malcolm in Memphis. At every corner the same, scorched brick, darkened windows. Make no mistake, there's fire back where you came from too. Pick any stop you can ride into the afternoon singing with strangers, or rush home to the spot you've been pouring all day. But where you sit is where you'll be when the fire hits.
Okay, so was there anyone else, or should we, Jeffrey, if you wanted to that last. Although I actually did find the Journey of the Magi, if you still wanted me to read that one. Do people actually want that? I feel like we shouldn't end on a T.S. Eliot, since he's not the most optimistic. All right. So yes, it didn't seem to be in the other. But I did see it in this one. All right, Journey of the Magi. Let me just get to our page here. Okay, here we go. All right, yeah, there we go. A cold coming we had of it, just the worst time of the year for a journey, on such a long journey, the ways deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter, and the camels galled, sore-footed, refractory, lying down in the melting snow. There were times we regretted the summer palaces on slopes, the terraces, and the silken girls bringing sherbet. Then the camel men cursing and grumbling and running away and wanting their liquor and women, and the night fires going out, and the lack of shelters, and the cities hostile and the towns unfriendly, and the villages dirty and charging high prices. A hard time we had of it. At the end, we preferred to travel all night, sleeping in snatches, with the voices singing in our ears, saying that this was all folly. Then at dawn, we came down to a temperate valley, wet below the snow line, smelling of vegetation with a running stream and a water mill beating the darkness, and 3 trees on the low sky, and an old white horse galloped away in the meadow. Then we came to a tavern with vine leaves over the lintel, 6 hands at an open door dicing the pieces of silver, and feet picking the empty wineskins. But there was no information, and so we continued and arrived at evening, not a moment too soon, finding the place. It was, you may say, satisfactory. All this was a long time ago, I remember, and I would do it again, but set down
this set down this where led all that way for birth or death. There was a birth, certainly. We had evidence, and no doubt. I had seen birth and death, but had thought they were different. This birth was hard and bitter agony for us, like death, our death. We returned to our places, these kingdoms, but no longer at ease here in the old dispensation with an alien people clutching their gods. I should be glad of another death. And just to break up the rather depressing nature of Eliot, I have a kind of funny personal story about Eliot. As some of you may know, I'm actually related to T.S. Eliot. He's a cousin. And my uncle actually met him. Apparently it was a rather awkward meeting because they really didn't know each other very well. So my uncle came after high school. And so he read a few of Eliot's poems. And so he came and he showed up, and of course, in typical Englishman fashion, Eliot immediately offered him sherry. And so the only drink my uncle knew was gin and tonic. And so I said, "Oh, we'll have a gin and tonic." And apparently he got it unmixed and had no idea the proportion. So he did half and half. And apparently he does not remember much else of that meeting. I'm sure made Eliot glad that he didn't invite any more relatives over because he anyway, thought that was amusing.
Now, Jeff, what? And now? Oh, yes, and now Jeffrey.
Can you remember at the end, you killed?
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Let me get that. Which song was it again?
The one you did the other day, it's do nothing till you hear from me.
Oh, yes.
If that's how.
Okay, let me get that.
On behalf of all of us, I want to thank the Brockton Public Library for all 3 days. Lahima, Warren, Russell in the back, he says no, but yeah, I think the money now for us. I attended all 3 days. First day I was a Zoomer and a watcher. Second day I was a filler because I needed people to read. And today I'm a presenter. And as I was sitting there today, I was kind of reflecting on all 3 days. And I kind of asked myself, what are we participating in? And then it came to me, whenever we sing, whenever we have poetry readings, or maybe even read poetry ourselves, we are part of a conjuring of the past, calling the spirits of the past, going back to the beginning of humanity into the present, a conjuring of the spirits with each other and the present, and also a calling and a conjuring of the future, people that aren't even born yet. My presentation is somewhat of a conjuring. I'm going to read 3 very short poems, very short, quite short, of Langston Hughes, and then I'm going to respond to them. And as I responded, it was my own conjuring. And then at the end, the very end, we're going to end where his funeral is. And we're going to join him in his funeral. The first poem is called Personal. Very short. In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me in a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I have given my answer. This is what that poem inspired in me. Birth is personal. Life is personal. Death is personal too. Swinging high up on a Delta tree or under a bridge being lynched is personal. Very personal. Or choked on a northern street. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. It's personal. Being hit, whipped, chained, raped, discriminated against, ghettoized is personal. The Middle Passage and sold in seaports, in town squares, wives separated from husbands, children from parents. It's personal, ladies and gentlemen, personal. being hungry, homeless, disabled, poor, arrested at borders, incarcerated or executed. It's personal. Having no arms, murdered in a kibbutz, or blown apart by a bullet, missile, drone, falling bomb in Gaza, the Ukraine, the Congo, Sudan, Iraq, or Myanmar is personal. Having no arms, no legs, no face, no head, no heart, being blown and torn apart is personal. Very personal. Justice is personal. No justice is personal too. Touch is personal. A kiss is personal. A hug, an embrace, a memory or loss. Love is personal as it gets. God is personal. Langston is personal. You and I are personal. He, him, he, hers, they and them, we are all personal. Black, white, brown, yellow, red. Our letters, our lives to God, the others, the world and the universe, they are all personal as it gets. Second one is a letter to Anne. Langston Hughes fell in love with a West African woman named Anne Marie Croce. And as when he was in Paris, he was a relatively young man. And this was a letter that he wrote to her. Since I left you, Anne, I have seen nothing but you. Every day has been your face, and every road your voice calling me, and every rock and every flower and tree has been a touch of you. Nowhere have I seen anything but you, Anne. Langston Hughes, 1927. This is my response to that poem. Langston once had a lover. Her name was Anne. Once they left each other, he saw her everywhere, flowing with the wind, the changing skies with the floating clouds, in the darkness and the light, in every rock and every tree and flower that blooms. I once had a beloved named Anne too. She passed a few years ago. A beautiful death, so gentle, quiet, so soft. Surrounded by her family, we didn't even know when her heart stopped. She was ready. Hopefully, we will all be ready when our day comes too. Anne still visits a lot. Always present, always near, here today. Says I listen now better than I used to. Death of loved ones does that to you. But Anne's still reaching out, still teaching me the lessons of love. Langston teaching us about love too. Anne and Langston teaching together now, teaching all of us, both traveling together with you, me, everyone, teaching us about love, endless love, love that has no beginning, no end, eternal love flowing, love that cuts away, informs, refines, calls, and guides, binds. Love is never lost and far away, present in shallow places and deep at the end of heart's core. Enlarged, love is also beyond us, holy, mysterious, love flowing where and how she willed, unnameable and undefined. Love is both living waters and flowing flames. Anne and Langston both tell me, and they tell you, all of us today, place these words close to your hearts, they say. Hold them close. Never let them go. Everything passes away but love. Our possessions, our bodies, the earth will one day pass away. Love is the be-all and end-all. There's really nothing else. It's the only real norm. And you can take it to the bank, they say. Anne and Langston say, take it to the bank. Spend all your days and nights too, every moment, learning, thinking, dreaming, doing, love. There's really nothing else. And the last poem is to you, to all of you, and to me too, by Langston Hughes, 1965. To sit and dream, to sit and read, to sit and learn about the world. Outside our world of here and now, our problem world, to dream of vast horizons of the soul, through dreams made whole, unfettered free. Help me, all you who are dreamers too, help me make our world anew. I reach out my hands to you. If Langston Hughes was here today, he actually is, in this room, what would he say to you, to me, right now? I think he would say something like this. Like I was and am, you were also letters to the world, to God, to each other, and to the universe. Sing your songs with power and joy. Your songs are unique, both the songs of the Creator and the songs that are yours, they're one flow. Become living prayers, living poems of love and light and justice at home, on street corners, at work, at school, and in the marketplace, in high places and in low. Incarnate your dreams every day, every moment, every night, and in every place. No matter where you are, no matter your circumstances, no matter the challenges in front of you or the darkness, confusion, and noises surrounding you. Be bold, be brave, be compassionate, be flesh, be spirit, be love. Dreams? Your dreams are not simply your own. They are the dreams of the Creator planted inside of you. They are also the dreams of the Creator flowing, calling, and transforming. Your dreams are both for you and for others. They are your letters, our letters to the world. Sing, 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 as Dr. Bruce sang. Let the seeds of love be planted within you. Let the seeds of love blossom and grow. Let the rivers of love, the rivers that know no time, no beginning, no end, no space, no limitation, flow through you incessantly. Become living waters, become shining stars, become the wind, become the tears falling from hurting and crying eyes, become raindrops falling from the sky, become living flames every day, every moment. Be beacons in the night, become seas and rivers of compassion, holy seas, sacred waters, flow, flow, flow. You are bearers of the Spirit. You are bearers of the light. Bear with one another. Embrace one another. Hold and carry one another. Love one another. You are not alone. Call upon me as a lover. Call upon me as a friend and brother and sister and father and grandfather and grandmother and mother. I am always with you. Sing, my lovers, sing, my children. The spirits of your ancestors flow through you. The spirits of the not yet born wait for you. You are never alone. Just sing. Sing your songs to each other. Sing your songs to the world, to the universe, and beyond. I'm closing with Langston Hughes' funeral announcement. He died of toxic. You can put it on.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of make it a little softer.
Someone told
He died on May 22nd, 1967.
but they
Here's what the invitation read. You are requested to attend a private memorial service for Langston Hughes on Thursday, May 25th at 2:30 p.m. at Bento Funeral Chapel, 630 St. Nicholas Avenue on 41st Street, New York City. Please use this message for your admission to the service, the family of Langston Hughes. And I will close mine with a song by Duke Ellington, "Do Nothing Till You Hear From Me." That's the song he requested at his funeral. And we will let him close my little section too.
From me. If you should take the words of others you heard, I haven't a chance. True, I've been seen. What? So. That I've been untrue since reveal how I feel about you. Some kids make love memory. Now the arms make till you hear it properly.
Wow. Thank you, Jeffrey. That was your remarks, the poems, the music after was so appropriate. Yeah. Thank you all. I mean, what a beautiful day it's been. What a beautiful 3 days. Tired? Yes, tired. But thanks to all of you, and thank God, because I'm praying all the time, oh, please let this go okay. And it did, you know, I'm grateful to everybody. And I've been working hard with Russell and Warren. And so I made these little cups for them. It's called the 3-day readathon with Langston Hughes in his world. So Warren, and for you.
These are fantastic.
I think they go in the microwave though.
All right. Thanks for the warning. I don't want to.
We have someone else. Where did you hear from me?
Hi, I just walked in and Russell said, hey, you want to read a poem? Oh, really? I just seen this for the first time, but, living my whole life, almost my whole life, within an hour of the ocean, I went and I attracted to this section called Sea Charm. Sea Charm, the sea's own children do not understand. They know that the sea is strong like God's hand. They know that the sea wind is sweet like God's breath, and that the sea holds a wide, deep depth. This one's called Waterfront Streets. The spring is not so beautiful there, but dream ships sail away to where the spring is wondrous rare and life is dead. The spring is not so beautiful there, but lads put out to sea who carry beauty in their hearts and dreams like me. Long trip. The sea is a wilderness of waves. a desert of water. We dip and dive, rise and roll, hide and are hidden on the sea. Day, night, night, day, the sea is a desert of waves, a wilderness of water. Death of an old seaman. We buried him high on the windy hill, but his soul went out to sea. I know, for I heard, when all was still, his sea soul spake to me. Put no tombstone at my head, for here I do not make my bed. Strew no flowers on my grave, I've gone back to wind and wave. Do not weep for me, for I am happy with my sea. Seascape. Off the coast of Ireland, as our ship passed by, we saw a line of fishing ships etched against the sky. Off the coast of England, we rode the foam. We saw an Indian merchantman coming home. He sat upon the rolling deck, half a world away from home, and smoked a capstan cigarette and watched the blue waves tipped with foam. He had a merchant on his arm, a tattoo on his breast, and tattooed on his back, he had a bluebird in a nest. We're getting away from the sea, but I like Ireland. This one's called Irish Wake. In the dock, we fell a-crying for the dead who'd gone away, and you could hear the drowsy wailing, those compelled to stay. But when the sun rose, making all the dooryard bright and clear, the mourners got up smiling, happy they were there.
No.
Okay, so we're ending a bit early, but I really can't think of any way better to end this. Langston's funeral in the sea, I mean, really seems like a natural ending place. So thank you to all of you who have come over the past 3 days. And if you'd like a recording of any of these, please reach out to me, email me. My email is wnelson@cobma.us. If you need me to write that down, please just come up and talk to me and I'd be happy to do that for you. Otherwise, I feel the need to sleep for a week. This has been exhausting, but fantastic. Thank you all for coming.